behalf of Mayor Sullivan, welcome to Warwick. Mayor Sullivan has been a strong supporter of economic development in the city, and a particular supporter of the development in the area we call City Centre Warwick. City Centre Warwick was built on an idea and a need for revitalization of an area that was, and in many ways still is, composed of small lots, single-story block structures, and an eclectic land use pattern. The city has collaborated for many years with our project partners, including DOT, Commerce, Rhode Island, RIAC, statewide planning, and federal highway, all who are equally responsible for much of the work and success that we've been able to achieve. Following the airport terminal renovations in the mid-1990s, the city began to focus on the potential for a train stop and to promote redevelopment of the surrounding area. Here's an aerial looking back. It's probably early 1990s, late 1980s, but you've got the airport terminal right over here, primary parking, vacant lot here. You've got a neighborhood that was formerly called Hillsgrove South, now gone, redeveloped. Rhode Island Malleable Ironworks, brownfield site, abandoned mill, that is now redeveloped into a mixed-use hotel, restaurant, and small retail development. This is Jefferson Boulevard. You've got the former D'Amber asphalt plant, real heavy industrial type use. Parking area, which is now, this is all part of the InterLink here, across the Bayliss Chemical, with the skywalk connecting here today. And this site right here is the new Hyatt Place Hotel. So that's what the area looked like dating back when we started to rezone, plan, and look for a train station in this area. Fast forwarding about 10 years, you can see some redevelopment taking place. This site here was a roller skating rink. That's a new hotel under construction. This was a vacant lot, which was constructed in the Red Bean Garage, private passenger garage servicing the airport. In 1998, T21 funding was secured to construct a train station at the airport and to provide MBTA service to Boston as part of the Pilgrim Partnership Agreement. The city moved forward and created a redevelopment district with a rezoning that divided the area into two zoning districts, intermodal and gateway, with intermodal being the core area between the interlink and the airport terminal, and the gateway zoning district representing the surrounding area, roughly bounded by Airport Connector, Jefferson Boulevard, and the airport road to the north. For site context, I thought it would be interesting to show some of the original renderings for what would be built here for a train station. There was a standalone plan with a shuttle to the airport, surface parking, an additional plan with parking on both sides. Excuse me, sorry about that. This area here would be reserved for Amtrak parking, which still hasn't happened. And then this would be just surface parking. Another idea, consolidated garage, with, again, shuttle to the airport. And then finally, what we have today, consolidated rental car facility, commuter rail parking, MBTA platform, all connected to the airport by an elevated skywalk. Some of the original renderings, standalone train station, consolidated rental car facility. Much of this was value engineered out. It's pretty much concrete today. And then another rendering with the platform on both sides. Currently, we just have the platform on the west side of the tracks with the MBTA stop. One of the biggest wins for the city was the remediation of what was the Bayliss Chemical Plant. It was an abandoned brownfield site, real nasty stuff. Those are empty trichloroethylene tanks. There was groundwater contamination, soil contamination. This has all been remediated, and this is part of the site of the interlink today. This is some of the remediation going on across the tracks. That's part of the refueling platform under construction. And then on the other side of the tracks, we have Fresno Street, and these are the piers being built for the skywalk. DOT had to do both aerial and ground condemnation easements, as well as some street abandonments in the rear of the property. The station opened in 2010, and the city immediately followed with an updated master plan using TOD concepts as guiding principles. City Centre Warwick is designed to create a development area that's characterized by a mix of uses that support a live-work population. Streets would be active and walkable, would be less auto-centric, be centered on transit infrastructure in place. The new zoning allows for a compact mix of uses such as office, hotel, residential, all centered around walkable and active streets. This slide shows examples of the type of development that's supported by the master plan and the zoning. Buildings would be 5 to 6 stories in height, office buildings with ground floor retail and service uses. Residential structures would also allow for a similar mix of uses in public open space, would be characterized by wider active streets and pedestrian areas. Use mixes leaning towards almost 50% residential to provide a resident population to utilize both the transit and frequent the local businesses. This is an example of some of the soft advantages that we built into the zoning. We increased the height to 75 feet. In the intermodal core, we have 0 building setbacks. We reduced parking requirements. We allowed by right mixed uses, and we somewhat streamlined the permitting process. This is an example of just some of the parking reductions we put in place. For example, for hotels, we reduced the parking requirement by 25% from 1 space per bedroom to 0.75. Since the adoption of the master plan and the rezoning in 2012, we've continued to move forward to implement the master plan for a variety of planning and construction projects, some of which I'm just going to highlight on the next set of slides. A market study completed in 2013 recognizes the strengths of City Center in the surrounding area and identifies target industries such as hotel, business conference, financial services, and global logistics. As part of the marketing and branding of the area, advertising rack cards and materials have been designed and printed for distribution at industry events. We've had placement in trade magazines and led organized fan tours with Commerce, Rhode Island. The advertising materials all lead to a dedicated website, which is maintained and updated by the city with assistance from Commerce. Most of the project-related materials are available on the website for both viewing and downloading. We also promote investment opportunities in available properties within the 2 zoning districts. To reinforce City Center as a unique place within the city, we've installed placemaking banners both in and around the light posts and fixtures in the district, as well as a large banner on the InterLink itself with permission from Hyatt. The InterLink Art was installed in 2014. That was through a partnership with the Rhode Island Arts Council, and the artist that was selected was out of Miami. It was R&R Studios. Following the completion of the streetscape plan and an access management plan for City Center, City and DOT proceeded with a pedestrian improvement project for Coronado Road, which is the connecting roadway that leads from Jefferson Boulevard, where the train station entrance is, to Post Road, which fronts the airport terminal. As you can see, Coronado Road was a hostile pedestrian environment, shoulder to shoulder when you walked across here with box trucks, heavy traffic, automobiles obviously. As part of this project, we were able to reclaim a good portion of the shoulder, put in landscape buffer, ornamental lighting, there are ADA improvements, crossings, etc. So you can see the roadway, it's a remarkable difference. It really is where we are going with this area and what we're looking to achieve. And it's also a great example for developers when they come in. We can show them what we've done and what we expect. In 2015, we enacted a financial incentive to develop the intermodal core, characterized by a 15-year tax stabilization agreement. The tax base is set for the first 5 years, 0 increase, and then the full tax is amortized in over the following 10 years. So at year 15, we're paying a full tax with all improvements. The first 5 years, no matter the improvement, you're still frozen at that base tax. In 2017, we adopted the design manual. It's an easy-to-use development tool that's based on both the master plan and zoning. It's very visual. It addresses form, design, block structure, massing, building placement. An example for a developer, appropriate way to design a public street. You can see you've got your building edge, the pedestrian path of travel, the landscape buffer with ornamental lighting, street furniture, that sort of thing, on-street parking. And then another example showing how to construct building form to conform to both the design manual and the master plan. And it's a flexible document. We're not telling them what they do. We give them a number of examples and they can pick and choose. And if they apply for a permit for new development or rehab an existing building, they have to prove to us conformance. And that's signed off by either the planning board or the administrative office of the planning board. The design manual also accounts for interim use. We have a lot of structures like this that are vacant and someone wants to occupy them. So how do we do that? How do we advance the goal of maybe a non-conforming use into one of these buildings? So what they do is they take the design manual, they take elements from it, and they improve the building. So you can see the same structure here. The arrow's a little squished, photo for some reason, but that's that same structure. You can see the large pane of glass and broken windows, fairly rough parking lot. And what this individual did, fairly inexpensively, obviously paint, cleaning up some plantings, some protection for pedestrians, marking the entrance, and some very simple facade improvements that broke up the window pane. So this is one of the ways the design manual accounts for improving the area, allowing businesses to occupy some of these buildings until they're assembled, and until someone assembles a whole block and comes in with a large development. Here's a highlight of one of our best projects, I think. This was, again, the Rhode Island Malleable ironworks site, abandoned brownfield site. The developer managed to preserve the original office building for the mill, which is now the Ironworks Tavern. And that's directly attached to the Hilton Garden Inn, which also has a commercial rental area here. I think they had a computer shop in there for a while. This site has one extra lot in the back that's being remediated, and my understanding is that the developer's looking to do something in the rear similar to this. But you can see they put the hotel right up on the edge. They saved some of the original train artifacts, and they actually used the brick from the mill on the facade itself. And this is an example of what the developer managed to do with that building, how he saved it. This was what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. And as you can see from his quote, this particular developer absolutely supports transit in Solid Valley. And this restaurant was just actually sold to the Newport Restaurant Group. Another example, the D'Amber asphalt plant, again, heavy industrial use right in the core of City Center next to the InterLink. This picture is taken from the InterLink. It is now the Hyatt Place Hotel, just opened in June, has a direct connection to the train station platform in the rear. All of these documents that have been used and developed as we've gone through this process are available on City Center Warwick for download again. If you have any questions, I'm available to answer them. But I really just trying to show you the evolution of City Center, what we've done, some of our challenges, and just touched on a lot of this. But it's been a lot of planning and effort. A lot has happened, but we still have a good ways to go. And then that's just the aerial of the area today. As you can see, here's the InterLink now. There's the skywalk connecting directly to the terminal. Northeast rail car right here, and the airport connector.
Terrific. Dan, thank you. Thank you very much. Clearly you can see that something like this required first a vision, and then second a master plan, and then just methodical implementation and patience, right? It does not happen all at once, but over time you can begin to see how this takes shape.